welcome to a show of Emperor Johnny. We're just sorting this out. Bit of an intro on this. It's John 04. Intro.
Hi, this is Professor Johnny Rankin in the Eastlife studio.
I'll put it back. I'll just check the schedule and see what's going on the way there. So look at LBC and see. There's Nick Abbott. Yeah, 10 o'clock.
One, two, 1, 2. Microphone check. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Coming through. To Professor Johnny Rankin. Professor Johnny Rankin stepping on through. Coming on through with the crew.
How are you? Yeah, that's good. Would you give out business cards for me? If I give you 3, would you give these out? When you see people, just give them to them, yeah? You get more off me when you come back. Give them to friends or hustle an opportunity, public even. Could be anyone in Harrow, in South Harrow, whatever.
rhythm up there. It's good rhythm. I like it. Go this. This is the rhythm. Keep in time. Keep in time. That one was fine.
Yeah, you know it's a Ross Small show. Yeah, Ross Small's again on the go.
Good evening and welcome to the show. Professor Johnny Rankin. Professor Johnny Rankin. Yeah. Number one in studio. Number one MC. Number one DJ. DJ. All he does is play. Professor Johnny Rankin. Professor Johnny Rankin. Professor Johnny Rankin. Professor Johnny Rankin. Yeah, he's number one in the studio. Number one MC, number one DJ. Professor Johnny Rankin. Professor Johnny Rankin. Professor Johnny Rankin. Yeah, number one studio. Number one MC, number one DJ. All he does is play. Professor Johnny Rankin. Professor Johnny Rankin. Professor Johnny. Professor Johnny. Professor Johnny. Professor Johnny Rankin. Professor Johnny Rankin. Professor Johnny Rankin. Professor Johnny Rankin. Yeah, he's the number one in the studio, number one MC, number one DJ. He all day, all he does is play. Right, what we'll do, because it's New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve and Christmas is my gift. Free copy of Pathfinder. Free copy of Pathfinder. If you come to the studio today, we'll give you a copy of Pathfinder for free. If you come to the studio today, or contact the studio, we might mail it to you. But it's free today. You've got to come to the studio actually. If you contact me, you've got to transfer £1 into my bank account. And then we'll work out what the postage and packaging is. And we'll have to work that out first, I suppose. Pathfinder actually costs £1, but tonight we're giving it out for free. Whoever comes into the studio can get a free copy. We're just taking it easy today. We don't feel like getting in the singing mood or an MC mood really. Just listen to the tune. Would be good if I had other producers providing me with music. I don't make enough to entertain me. I can't chat to Fit Flow anymore. I can email him, I suppose. I've got his music. I should include it on this playlist for him. Let me include it on this playlist.
The particular refers to Iran, who you what is part of the diplomatic post-mortem. Britain was not warned of or consulted about the attack. The US Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo, said that Middle Eastern allies had been fantastic, but Europe, well, the Europeans haven't been as humble as I wish that they could be. The Brits, the French, the Germans all need to understand that what we did, what the Americans did, saved lives in Europe as well. Qasem Soleimani led and his IRGC led assassination campaigns in Europe. This was a good thing for the entire world, and we're urging everyone in the world to get behind what the United States is trying to do to get the Islamic Republic of Iran to simply behave like a normal nation. Our correspondent, Mike Thompson, has been speaking to Iran's first president after the toppling of the Shah in 1979. He began by asking Abu Hassan Banisadr about his reaction to Qasem Soleimani's assassination.
My response to your question is that a state has committed an act of terrorism on a territory that is independent under international law. The consequences must now be awaited. But one cannot commit acts of terror without consequences.
The Americans claimed the general was planning further attacks on American personnel, so that therefore their actions were legitimate.
In an independent country, what legitimacy do the Americans have? First, they have invaded Iraq, and up to now, they have been present in the territory of an independent country and doing just what they like there. They launch military attacks on the ground and in the air. They commit acts of terror, whatever they want. All that is not legal. The presence of two countries in one territory like this is not legal, it's illegal. Because did the Iraqis invite the Americans? No. Did they invite the Iranians? No. They are both in an independent country and have turned it into a battlefield. You can't put an end to violence with violence.
But if Iran, and the general in particular, was planning violent acts against Americans, they couldn't just do nothing.
Yes, but it's not just about one guilty party, but two, the American government and the Iranian regime. They've both committed crimes on a territory that is owned by neither the United States or Iran. And if one commits a crime and the other responds, is it deserved? No, it's not deserved.
I was talking to a resident of Tehran earlier, and he said that many people who had been anti-government before this happened have now joined with pro-government people in condemning this act and say it could even lead to war support rather than less for the Iranian government, which has been under a lot of pressure. Do you think that is possible? This could actually unify the people against America and the West?
I've always said that the attack on the American embassy by Iran supporters and this act of terrorism, the assassination of Soleimani, have very clear objectives. Mr. Trump benefits from an internal political perspective, and in Iran it is Khomeini who is further strengthened. I've always said it, I say now, and I'll say it again, that Mr. Trump and the current state of American politics provides a great boost for the regime of Mr. Khomeini. Will he benefit from this assassination? Certainly.
Former Iranian President Abu Hassan Banisadr talking to our correspondent Mike Thompson there. Well, Fred Fleitz was the chief of staff to Donald Trump's former national security advisor, John Bolton. I asked him what he made of Iran's threat to respond in kind to the killing of Soleimani.
I don't know. I think Iran is sort of like the wounded crying wolf. They're always engaging in belligerent statements and threats. And I would note that Iranian belligerence increased after the nuclear deal in 2015. Iran surged the number of troops it had in Syria. Iran took 10 American sailors hostage. I mean, this belligerence has never ended. I think what the president has done is to lay down a marker that threatening American citizens, taking the lives of American citizens, will have a severe response. I think in that respect, this is an effort that I hope will lead to a de-escalation of hostilities and avoid a war.
Do you think the words that have come out of Iran from Iranian leaders, do you think they are just that, words? Or do you believe, in fact, that there may well be a response from Iran?
I wouldn't be surprised if they're thinking of some type of terrorist attack or using a proxy to launch an attack. Iran does not want to get into war with the United States. They may be looking at some type of less obvious, let's say, cowardly response through a proxy to respond. But my guess is we're going to hear a lot of talk, and I'm hoping things are going to cool down.
It's the kind of response which you were suggesting might come from Iran, a terror attack or some kind of violent response. Is that in the end, I don't want to sound clumsy about it, but is it a price worth paying for taking out such a senior figure within the Iranian hierarchy?
This particular Iranian leader was the terrorist mastermind of Iran. He had killed at least 600 American soldiers. I don't know how many British soldiers, thousands of Iraqis. He probably was responsible, or at least approved, the attack of the U.S. Embassy in Baghdad. I think that we are saving lives by this move and putting a marker down for Iran that these provocations have to stop. So, in that regard, I think this move was justified.
Why do you think America didn't bother to tell Britain, one of its closest allies, an ally with soldiers of interest scattered across the region, that it was about to do this?
I wish that had happened, but I regret that the state of the national security discussions in Washington is so poor right now that the president did not notify leading Democrats, and I think that really is the issue here, why there was so little notification. I can't imagine how the president could notify Britain of this if he was not notifying Nancy Pelosi.
Because you can imagine that the words of the Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo, effectively told European countries to fall into line and step up their support.
Listen to someone else's music. It's fun listening to someone else's music. It is fun. I'm going to buy music on Voice, but I can't do it on Facebook anymore. My Facebook account's been shut down. I don't know why my Facebook account's been shut down. I wasn't doing anything illegal. I was doing fair business. I don't understand why they shut it down. Only the truth I spoke. Only the truth.
So it is the skeptics, and as Fred your previous said, is the lack of coordination with national security operations.
So now I've got no more Facebook account. I've only got YouTube, email, and my mobile phone, WhatsApp, and Viber. That's all I've got now. No more Facebook. Facebook is probably a distraction anyway. I don't know, I mean, might have got me more listeners, I don't know. Yeah. We'll still grow, we'll still manifest. I've got my business card and it's got my YouTube link on it. I do like Fifth-Flow's music, I do like it. Fifth-Flow, if you're listening, your music's on the playlist now.
Why is it more dangerous in some areas than when a coffee?
Let's put some other people's music on the playlist as well. I've got Heist on there. I will put Heist on there. I won't do it now, I'll write it down.
The hardliners regime, they are very, very insecure about the to have been. External to the United States.
It's a good music, I enjoy it. I wanted to listen to someone else's music.
Pushing up against the table and tables and play division. Bring us forward a bit.
Check it out, mate. I'll put some good music on the playlist.
You're going out, yeah? Alright.
I like other people's music more than my own. It's just good. It's a good tune.
Come back after 7 as well. Come back after 7.
It's on the release. So what's on release should be on this playlist. But I could email James back now. One of the best productions we've ever done.
November 2016, just 6 years
Hello, Dad. How are you? How are you?
They were missing. 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 Gaze up. Well, them love so you know them because it. See everywhere you say one of them like from it. Here from the show, one of them good as shit. This is shit on the road, you might catch at it. People challenge so they come full of shit. But when they might say the lyrics them Chris. Papa remember the lyrics just exist. Listen, demon to the king. Scale up the shot, keep on bring to music. Listen, me still I see how you put me. Say that we don't reach on top. You will be sing. You will be sing. Check up around it up tonight. They were missing. They were missing. They were missing. They were missing. They were missing.
Welcome to BT Mobile.
They were missing. They were missing.
Hello?
Hello, Dad.
Yeah, I keep trying to answer you, but it doesn't work.
I gave up with the
Yeah, it doesn't seem to work.
WhatsApp.
Yeah.
I tried calling you back on your mobile, but then you didn't pick up, so I thought I'd call you on your home phone.
I need to try to pick them up most times.
All right.
Don't seem to connect for some reason. I don't know.
Okay. All right, never mind. So how are you then? This is family time, so you can ask me any questions or whatever.
All right. Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
5 to 6 is family time, so this time now you can speak to me till 6 o'clock if you want.
I'm fine.
Well, it's up to you. It's family time. I've made this time for you.
Okay. Yeah, how are you then?
Yeah, I'm alright. Not too bad. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just ring you every family time. You're the only family member I've got the phone for. I'll ring your house. I'll ring the house every time. For your family time, so I'll ring the house.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
If you're out, you're out. Whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you should be in on family time. I've sent you a timetable. I'll send you another. I'll keep changing it now. I'll send you the new one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll try and keep to it, but yeah.
What you could do is just do one family time for me a week.
Yeah.
Like Saturday night, you're there now, so 5 to 6 on a Saturday night, you could just be there once a week.
Yeah. All right.
You don't have to be there every single time.
Yeah.
And you can pick and choose which one you want to be there for. What, like on a Saturday night, you might think, well, I can't make it this Saturday night,
Yeah.
so I'll do it another time this week.
Okay.
And I'll always be available that time for family time. Unless I'm busy, I might be busy as well.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But I'm going to try and make family time available for family time.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I tried to. You know, you sent an email saying this to Nick Abbott with you.
Yeah.
I did go on it.
All right.
But you were just sort of, you know, you just had your head down.
I was asleep.
I think so.
I was probably asleep then.
Sorry.
I might have been asleep, yeah.
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 So I stopped it and.
That doesn't matter. You can put it on the radio then, can't you?
Yeah, I did. I put it on the radio.
Yeah.
I always do. I've been listening to it for years.
I'm going to listen to him again tonight, so I'll send you the link again.
Well, yeah. I mean, I can listen to it on the radio, sure.
True.
Yeah.
But it's fun to listen to it with me, isn't it?
Not if you're asleep. Wouldn't make any great difference, would it?
You can always call me up. Like LBC, you can call me instead.
Anyway, 10 o'clock's a bit late. I fall asleep after about 10 minutes anyway.
Yeah, that's what I do as well.
Yeah. It's a bit late, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit late, yeah.
So, what else have you been up to?
Well, just running this station. Now what I'm doing is playing all last year's music. I've got loads of shows. I've got 84.6 hours worth of shows, which is about 4 days worth of shows.
Oh yeah.
And what I do, I just play them at random on repeat.
Yeah.
And I'm promoting that sound now. I've only got one listener that listens live. I need to build it up to about 100.
When I went on last night, it became 2.
Yeah, I think I noticed that. I think I was there when you came on.
You didn't notice because you were asleep.
I don't think I was. I think I saw the 2 come up.
I saw it.
All right.
Uh,
Well, try and log on at least once a day, please.
yeah, okay.
Try and make 5 or 10 minutes or half an hour devoted to watching my channel. Pick a program or a show that you like and log on.
Yeah.
There's lots of different types of shows on.
Yeah.
I'll send you a copy of the program.
Okay.
There's the English Knowledge Fundamentalist Academy. There's Green Market. You might want to do Green Market. You might want to flog something up here. You got anything you want to sell?
No.
You don't want to sell anything? No. Right.
What am I going to sell?
You got loads of stuff you can sell.
Well, I what?
Engineering equipment.
I'm going to sell that, am I?
All right. Did you use it?
Yeah.
All right. Whatever.
George, is it cool?
Come on and do some music round here. Bring your ukulele round. I've got the studio sorted for you.
They won't appreciate ukulele music, will they?
I'll play it on my station. I'll play your music. I would play your music. I'll play your music.
No, you can't.
I can do whatever I want.
Yeah, I know you can, but you ain't going to get any listeners on that, are you?
Why not? You've got to cater for all different styles. I want to cater for all different styles, all different generations. One of my projects is to start a project up for old people. And I think you help me out with that. Entertain for people like Grandad, like where we drive them to a hall. Like the hospital's got a hall upstairs of the library. We could just fill it up with old people every day and just play a disco to them. Or what we could do is you broadcast your music that you make on your channel to the old people. The old people make their own music then. You could do that. I can show you how to do it. You're a sound engineer, aren't you? I mean, you know how to set up a studio.
I'm not good enough for that, John.
You are.
I know my limitations. That's my biggest strength is that I know what I do.
Well, I know you could do it. If I can do it, you can do it. What about the entertainment for the old people? What about the old people? So they don't get any help then? I'll do it then. I'll reach out to them. I'll try and make softer music for them. I'll try and set up a pensioners club. All right. All right. Bye.
Bye then, John.
Bye.
Thanks for the call.
All right. Bye. I hope they don't leak it. I'm going to tell them not to leak it. It's a chance. We'll see. I mean, that's right. Do what you see. Here's up. Do what you see. Do what you see. Here's up.
try. Do what we say. I mean, I try. I mean, I try. Do what we say. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I mean, I try. Do what we say. I mean, I try. I mean, I try. I mean, I try. Do what we say. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I mean, I try. Do what we say. I mean, I try. Right, we'll talk about the timetable now. We'll just go through the timetable so that you know what happens every day. Right, let me just have a look here. Right, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. If I'm up in time, I do the Rise and Shine show 7 to 9. Then from 9 to 9:30 it's any questions, where you can ask me any questions. Then from 9:30 to 9:45 it's Green Market, where we show you the products that we got on sale. Then from 9:45 to 10 o'clock, Monday to Friday it's Wise Works. On a Saturday it's Shared Vision meeting. On Sunday it's Ministry of Justice, 9:45 to 10. Shared Vision meeting on a Saturday, 9:45 to 10. Ministry of Justice on a Sunday. Then 10 till 12 is an Eastlife show. That's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. Eastlife show, 10 till 12. Then 12 till 2 we have a studio session. We might not broadcast, we might do, it depends. Probably will. Then 2 till 4 is a studio session, Monday to Friday. So that's 12 till 2 and 2 till 4, Monday to Friday is a studio session. Anyone can come in here, it's free. Free entrance. You can have a go. Or you can rent out the library, you can just come in and read the books that I've got up here. You can either read the books or do a show, or do you can broadcast a show if you want, if you've got it prepared. It doesn't really matter, I'll just put over 18 certificate so that you can do what you want. You can even swear if you want. 2 to 4. Let me just go back here a minute. 12 till 2 on a Saturday and Sunday, we do the record shop. There's a record shop, 12 till 2. Every Saturday and Sunday. Then on a Saturday, 2 till 4 is Ras Smalls. On a Sunday, there's a guest, but we don't know who it is yet. Or we do the Professor Johnny Ranking show. Then 4 to 5, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday, we do the English Knowledge Fundamentalist Academy. Then 5 to 6 on a Monday, it's the NHS meeting. 5 to 6 on a Tuesday, it's office. 5 to 6 on a Wednesday, it's office. Then on a 5 to 6, I might do that as Emperor Johnny, I suppose. The office. No, we'll leave it as office. We'll do it as desk 1 or so. Office, maybe we'll call it office. Producers Music Alliance, but I can't do that anymore. I can still do it on YouTube. Still do these shows. I'll stick to the timetable. And then on 5 to 6 on a Friday, I do DJs. So Hello, is there any more of the family there?
Any what?
Any more of the family there?
No, well, Mum's cooking at the moment. She's right in the middle of cooking.
Okay.
Right.
Could you ask her to email me, please?
Email you?
Yeah, just email me. Ask him whatever she wants. Just email me.
Oh, okay then. All right.
All right, thank you.
All right.
All right.
Bye then.
Bye.
Bye.
5 to 6 on a Saturday I do the playlist, then 5 to 6 on a Sunday is office. I might change that to family. Work family. They got to visit me though. That's the time when they got to visit me. Right. Then 6 to 6:15. No, 6 to 6:30. Let's change that on a. Let's change that to 6. Okay. Right. Then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and a Sunday, we do a show called Emperor Johnny, and it's from 6 to 6:30, Monday to Sunday, 6 to 6:30. We do a bit of news. We talk about any emperor issues or any world leader can contact me on that show, or any politician or any NHS manager or anyone who's got an organisation. Anyone can contact me on YouTube or on my phone on the 07917 008 654. he's going to get my music collection. But he's a good pal of mine anyway, and he's well into music, so it's a risk, but it's not too risky, really. I mean, 2 DJs have got my music now. I don't know.
New Google Pixel 4 with motion sense. It senses when you're close. My logs.
James Beck's gonna DJ it or what, or whether he's gonna turn up to my friend tonight in Brighton and help him out. One, two. This is a big email that I'm sending James Beck. Huge email. The whole A-Bank. There's about 97 tunes. 97 tunes in one email. Oh, I love James Beck. He's the only one that's me, and he called once when I needed some help, and he was miles. And don't forget, he had cared, and I was telling in his voice that he really did. If I can help him, I'll do my best. If he gets inspired or whatever. But I've got no Ras Smalls here at the moment. Taking a mighty time to upload these files to Google. Taking a mighty time. Let's check YouTube and see what's happening. away. Why can't this be? You can't get away. Watch out. Bust off in it. Talk drop. Boy, never hear the clap clap.
God say happy years to everyone listening. Happy New Year to all the people around the world.
Tea and bondage.
James Beck getting a good present on New Year's Eve.
Mind dominance. And mind predominance. Mind dominance is a problem in society. Mind dominance causes all the confusion, causes all the problems. Mind delusion. Fucked people, yeah. Fucked people, yeah. Living across the UK, living across the world, across Europe. Out in the Far East, they are more blessed. Out in Jamaica, they are more blessed. Out in Africa, they are more blessed. They have the age of knowledge. They eat lemons and pears. I eat apples and oranges. Here I am, esoteric quotes, in the flesh. Yes. You know, I am the best. I am better than all the rest. No one can test. No one can test. I am not a champion. I am not number one. I am not number two, like number three, like number four, like number five, like number six, like number seven, like number eight, like number nine, like number 10. Come on, let's all go again. Let's all live again. As I begin, as I do not sing, as I do sing sometimes. Let me sing my song. Come on, everybody. Come on. Let me feel free. I'm feeling free. Now I can help me. I can help you with much studio knowledge. My studio technician, much sound engineering, much music. I know how to play every instrument. I understand the method behind it. I understand theory. I understand music. Music is pretty good, really good. I really enjoy music.
I was swimming for miles and miles and miles. I felt at one with myself, like a dream.
I'll break now. I'll break. I've got the news on.
There was this man.
China has now senior officially in Hong Kong after months of pro-democracy demonstrations. A change in the wind direction is hampering efforts to tackle bushfires in southeastern Australia. Sir Rod Stewart has been charged after allegedly punching a hotel security guard in Florida on New Year's Eve. Tens of thousands of people have marched to the Iraqi capital, Baghdad, in a funeral procession for Iran's most senior military commander. General Qasem Soleimani died in a US drone strike as he left the city's airport on Thursday. Tehran has promised forceful attack, which President Trump says to prevent the deaths of American diplomats and military personnel. Tonight, rockets have landed close to the US Embassy in Baghdad and the nearby Balad Air Base, which houses American forces. The Iraqi military says no one was killed. Our Middle East correspondent Quentin Somerville has been following the day's events from Beirut.
Procession through the streets of Baghdad, some chanting "Death to America" as they walked to the side of many of them they waved Iraqi and pro-Iranian militia flags and carried portraits of the dead general and of Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Khamenei. Among the mourners were calls for revenge.
General Soleimani was a man who, unlike many of our officials, was an enemy to our enemies and treated our own people very well. He was very popular, so the only thing we want is to take revenge in the worst possible way.
We want to punch them hard in the mouth because they martyred a warlord who was very important to us and very valuable for us. Iraq's Prime Minister Adil Abdul-Mahdi and some of his cabinet members attended the procession. Qasem Soleimani was a ruthless power broker there and across the region. Today in Baghdad, he was hailed as a Shia martyr, but for months on those same streets, he's been denounced as a villain. As protesters demanded, among other things, an end to Iranian influence in the country. They blamed the dead general for much suffering in Iraq, including the recent deaths of hundreds of protesters. Qasem Soleimani's body will now be returned to Tehran and then buried in his hometown. In death, he has been promoted to the rank of Lieutenant General. He leaves behind a bloody legacy, which likely won't end with his assassination. Iran has sworn harsh revenge for his killing. But for now, the country mourns a man who reshaped the Middle East. He did more than just serve it overseas. He was Iran overseas.
Here, criticism is growing of President Trump's decision to authorize the strike on General Soleimani, with the former Foreign Secretary, Jeremy Hunt, warning that the situation had become very, very risky. The US Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo, said he was disappointed that Washington's European allies had not been more supportive. Here's our diplomatic correspondent, James Robbins.
America's Secretary of State was blunt. Mike Pompeo said European allies haven't been as helpful as I wish that they could be. The Brits, the French, the Germans, he said, all need to understand that what we did, what the Americans did, saved lives in Europe as well. But the United States neither consulted nor informed its key allies, including Britain, before killing one of the most senior figures in the Iranian system. The former Foreign Secretary Jeremy Hunt sees that lack of prior warning as a mistake. I think it's regrettable because, as one of the US's closest allies, I think it's an important aspect of that relationship that there are no surprises. I think our relationship with the US is one where we shouldn't overestimate our influence, but we shouldn't underestimate it either. Mr. Hunt shares a widely held concern that President Trump does not have a coherent long-term strategy for dealing with Iran. The Shadow Foreign Secretary, Emily Thornberry, called the assassination a deliberate and reckless escalation of the conflict with Iran. Former head of MI6, Sir John Soars, told the Today programme everyone must be braced for an inevitable Iranian response. They will seek to ensure that US troops are ousted from Iraq. They will make the nuclear deal, which we signed 5 years ago, almost untenable by breaking out further from it. And at some point, they will react against Western interests in an asymmetric way. Part of Britain's response has been to harden its travel advice for both Iran and Iraq, making Iraq a no-go area for British nationals apart from the Kurdistan region in the north, where the advice is against all essential travel. Similarly, for Iran, the new advice is to consider carefully whether it's essential to travel there.
China has sacked the head of its Hong Kong liaison office, the highest-ranking Chinese official based in the territory. Wang Zhemin is the first senior official to lose his job since violent anti-government protests began in Hong Kong 6 months ago. His removal is being seen as a sign that Beijing is deeply unhappy with the way events have been handled. More from our China correspondent, John Sutton.
There can be little doubt that Wang Zhemin is paying the price for a set of policies that has left the Chinese Communist Party facing the biggest challenge to its rule in a generation. Mr. Wang was a fierce advocate of the extradition bill that could have seen Hong Kong citizens sent for trial in mainland China. It was the authorities' failure to anticipate the strength of public opposition to that bill that first ignited the massive protest movement that more than 6 months on shows no sign of going away. And despite the serious civil unrest, Mr. Wang seemed confident that pro-Beijing candidates would prevail in November's local elections in Hong Kong. In the event, they were all but wiped out. Earlier rumours of his dismissal were rejected by Beijing as fake news, but now it seems its patience has finally run out. He's being replaced as head of the powerful Central Liaison Office by Luo Huiming, a man seen as a safe pair of hands who, as a former party leader in the Tibetan minority province of Qinghai, is well used to dealing with simmering ethnic and social tension.
Huge dust storms are hampering efforts by emergency crews to contain bushfires that are sweeping across southeastern Australia. The wind has changed direction, causing separate fires to merge and forcing thousands of people to flee their homes. Military reservists have been called up, and ships from the Australian Navy are taking people to safety. Our correspondent Phil Mercer sent this report from the town of Nowra, south of Sydney.
Australia feels like a country on a war footing as the bushfire crisis intensifies. Thousands of military reservists are being deployed, as well as transport aircraft and more helicopters. The Navy has already been evacuating hundreds of people stranded in the town of Malakuta in Victoria. They were taken to the port of Hastings, where they described the terrifying conditions they'd left behind.
In the end, we couldn't go anywhere, so our only option was to go down to the foreshore and sit it out. We evacuated.
Headed east on beach. As I ran along, what really struck me, there was huge numbers of dead animals that have been washed up.
This country's been ravaged by drought, now fire. The government seems to be doing very little about it.
More lives have been lost. The latest fatalities came on Kangaroo Island in South Australia, where 2 people were trapped in a car overrun by flames. Dozens of homes in southeastern Australia are thought to have been destroyed. A southerly wind change late in the day has made conditions even more dangerous. It turned the sky an ominous shade of red and whipped up a massive storm of ash and dust. The erratic gusts have fanned the fires. Hundreds continue to rage. A senior member of the New South Wales government has compared the blazes to an atomic bomb.
The Australian Prime Minister, Scott Morrison, has been criticised for publishing a video on social media setting out the military assistance being given to firefighters. The footage shows troops, planes and naval vessels helping in the relief efforts. Opposition politicians have accused Mr Morrison of trying to exploit a national tragedy. The Labour backbencher Lisa Nandy has launched her leadership campaign, with a call for the party to unite and turn its fire on the Conservatives. She joins 3 other candidates who have thrown their hats into the ring, including Jess Phillips, the frequent critic of Jeremy Corbyn, the Shadow Brexit Secretary, Sir Keir Starmer, and the Shadow Business Secretary, Rebecca Long-Bailey, are considered frontrunners, but they're yet to formally declare their running. David Lammy, the MP for Tottenham, has ruled himself out. Lisa Nandy said it was time the party healed its divisions.
On the front line, trying to deliver real change in their communities, they don't have the luxury of fighting about the small differences between us. And I think the next leader of the Labour Party absolutely has to stand up and set that tone and say no more of the factions, no more of the infighting. It lets down the people that we claim to represent, and we're just going to allow it anymore.
Sir Rod Stewart has been charged with battery after allegedly hitting a security guard outside a party at a hotel in Florida. The incident happened when the 74-year-old singer and his family were refused admission to the event on New Year's Eve. Our North American correspondent Jane O'Brien has more.
According to the security guard, Sir Rod Stewart and his 39-year-old son Sean were trying to gain access to a party at a luxury hotel in Palm Beach without permission. When the guard, named Jesse Dixon, intervened, he said Sean Stewart shoved him backwards and Sir Rod, will be 75 in a few days, punched him in the left rib cage with a closed fist. In the police report, Sir Rod said his family became agitated because Mr Dixon was argumentative. He also apologised for his role in the incident. But according to the report, video footage showed Sir Rod and his son as the primary aggressors. Both are due to appear in court in Palm Beach on February the 5th, charged with simple battery, an offence which could carry a 1-year jail sentence.
The music retailer HMV has warned that 10 of its stores may have to close if new leases can't be agreed with landlords. The company is negotiating to keep them open, but says it can't rule out job losses. 3 other shops will shut at the end of the month. Our business correspondent Rob Young has more details.
HMV's first store over 29 years ago, and the chain came close to disappearing last year. It was bought out of administration by a Canadian music firm. HMV now has 111 branches. 3 in Bury St Edmunds, Glasgow and Nuneaton will close at the end of this month. The company's warning of a further 10, including at Bullring and Birmingham, along Headrow in Leeds, at risk of shutting unless negotiations with landlords about new leases are successful. HMV says it and landlords are working hard to try to reach agreements, but says high business rates in some locations are no longer viable.
A large section of the M1 in Bedfordshire has been closed for much of the day after an accident involving 2 lorries. The emergency services were called just before 7 o'clock this morning after 2 HGVs collided on the southbound carriageway between Milton Keynes and Flitwick. Several casualties were airlifted to hospital. The northbound carriageway has since reopened, but the southbound remains shut. Sports. England had the better of the second day of the second test against South Africa. Details of that at the 3rd round of the FA Cup is Shannon News.
England produced a fight back on day 2 of the second test against South Africa to finish in control with a lead of 54 runs. The BBC's cricket correspondent Jonathan Agnew watching in Cape Town.
Despite their underwhelming first innings score, England hopes of levelling the series are very much alive after a strong performance in the field. Broad and Anderson reduced South Africa to 40 for 3, before Elgar and Van der Dussen added 117 for the 4th wicket. Frustrated by Bess's accuracy, Elgar went for a big hit, but holed out to Root, running back from mid-off for 88. De Kock had a similar rush of blood on 20, looking to hit Curran for 6. When Van der Dussen was taken by Stokes' second slip, South Africa had lost 3 for 43, and England were tightening their grip. The new ball was only 4 overs old, and England fancied their chances of taking a precious lead in the morning.
Premier League side Aston Villa were knocked out of the FA Cup after they were beaten 2-1 by Championship side Fulham in their 3rd round tie. Brighton were the other top flight side to go out at the 3rd round stage to a Championship team as they were beaten 1-0 by Sheffield Wednesday, managed by Gary Monk.
A really good performance at Premier League side with the quality that they had, and they didn't go weak as well. They
played a lot of the strong squad. So delighted, of course, we are to come here and perform in that way. Play the game that we played, to then come away, which we feel was a deserved win, and to do that, fantastic.
Newcastle were held to a 1-1 draw at Rochdale. League One Premier Rovers came from 3 goals down to earn a 3-3 draw and an FA Cup third-round replay against Premier League side Watford. And in Rugby Union's Premiership, Gloucester moved up to third after beating Bath 29-15. There were also wins today for Saracens and Leicester Tigers.
Shabnan Yunus. The headlines again. Huge crowds have gathered in the Iraqi capital of Baghdad to mourn the Iranian military commander killed in a US airstrike. Tonight, missiles have been fired close to the American embassy in the city and a nearby airbase housing US forces. The most senior Chinese official in Hong Kong has been sacked following months of pro-democracy demonstrations. Attempts to tackle continuing bushfires in southeastern Australia are being hampered by a change in wind direction. BBC News. Read by Mark Forrest. Chloe Hammond and Mark Thomas will be among Clive Anderson's guests on Loose Ends in a moment, not before. Look ahead to the morning and Broadcasting House with Paddy O'Connell.
Hello, good evening. The US general who led the CIA tells us of the message he received from the Iranian commander killed in a US airstrike. As a beach is evacuated with hundreds escaping the bushfires, we hear from a British pilot involved. And we have a letter from Australia from Steve Evans. Back home, we hear how a letter to a newspaper changed a grieving mother's life. And with their news review will be the journalist Rachel Johnson, Chris, and radio host Swazi McCarthy. That's VH tomorrow morning at 9 here on BBC Radio 4.
And now it's time for Loose Ends with Clive Anderson.
Yes, thank you, and welcome to Loose Ends for our first programme of 2020. A propitiously named year, which perhaps suggests 12 months of perfect vision, in which we'll be solving all the problems of injustice, inequality, climate change, terrorism, and the rest. Or quite possibly a year like all the others when we don't. But we do have gathered around the Loose Ends table some bright-eyed, bushy-tailed warriors, no doubt, battling on behalf of better days to come. As I'm joined by Mark Thomas, a comedian who's been setting the world to rights with jokes, campaigns, and eye-catching stunts since he was knee-high to Margaret Thatcher, here to tell us 50 things about us. Mike Vatt's career has gone down a variety of routes: pop, rock, stage shows, symphony concerts, film soundtracks, writing and performing almost exclusively in the world of music. But in his latest venture, he has written The Chronicles of Don't Be So Ridiculous Valley, a fairy story in a hitherto unexplored world of slugs, fairies, and some disturbing creatures that are a cross between pigs and frogs, and none of it set to music. Yet, Nikita Gill is a poet who you may have come across already on Instagram or Facebook, where she's built a loyal following. But her latest collection is available now in book form, Great Goddesses, and there's a one-woman stage adaptation of the book that's coming to a theatre near you. Well, it is if you live in Clapham, in just a few days' time. We have music in the studio from Rachel Dad and Alice Russell, and Tom Allen from Bake Off and Apprentice is back with us here today. Who are you serving up for us, Tom?
Well, Mike, you need to chill out. In fact, we all do. Today, I'm joined by broadcaster Gloria